Okay, then we're back. Welcome back to another FITPRO-X TV. Today we are joined by longtime friend James Tindale. Needs no introduction, to be fair, but
I want you to give us an introduction.
What you want an actual introduction? Okay, well, luckily for you, I've actually prepared one. One of the originals, and also an online coach, smashing it. Just wanted to get him in to speak a little bit about what he's doing in the fitness industry. Obviously, I know you through the fitness industry, so I've known you when you were setting up a gym and doing the online coaching that way, and seen you progress into kind of setting up fully online, which is really interesting. You know, a lot of people gain a big following on social media through various different ways. And quite often, a lot of people can't capitalize on it. So you kind of saying, "I love fitness, I love the gym," and using your audience and capitalize on it. It's interesting because a lot of people let their audience dwindle and never actually align it with what they're actually interested in. So
I think that's what it comes down to. Though it's like fitness has always been my passion. Even before I had a following, I was in the gym every day. I was looking at becoming a PT, and it was always what I kind of wanted to do and I enjoyed doing. Like, I love training people and helping people get amazing results because I know that feeling, because I've been there myself, out of shape, feeling crap, feeling unmotivated, to then turning the corner and being really positive minded and just like loving the way I look. There's nothing better.
Oh, absolutely. You just feel so much better, don't you?
I do think there is a lot of people where they go, "Oh, well, I've got a following now. How can I make money?" Oh, well, you can make money in online coaching. I'll try and do that, but then it never lasts. I've seen so many come and go in the space of probably like 6 months, max a year, because they're not enthusiastic about it. They don't want to help people. They literally just want to benefit from it themselves. So they think, "Oh, well, such and such is making 10 grand a month. Well, I can do that. I've got more followers." But really, they're not willing to put in the work.
People can tell, can't they? People can tell when you don't actually, when you're not actually passionate about it. Like, obviously, I've known you outside of all that, and
probably about 10 years, isn't it?
Yeah, it has to be. But I've known you like through going to the gym. I mean, we did the gym photo shoot together with God's Gift.
Yeah,
if that's still but obviously, it was something that you were interested in, and something that you are passionate about. And
it's always been a part of us, like going to the gym. Like, if someone said to me now, "Oh, you have to stop going to the gym and working out and looking after yourself tomorrow," I don't know what I'd do. I'd be lost.
I think for you as well, though, like part of the reason you got where you did was because of the shape you were in.
Yeah,
so
massively.
It had huge benefits on that side of it as well.
It did. Even before I went on to Geordie Shore, like, I think obviously I got onto there because of being really confident, but that all come down to how I looked and how I felt and how I presented myself. But if you had seen us maybe 3 or 4 years before that, I was like in the back of the group, like not as outgoing, not as confident. But it was all through going to the gym that this kind of confidence got built.
Yeah.
So it definitely helped me. But even in like jobs before that.
Do you know, since you've went back on Geordie Shore and you've kind of had your chance to go back in there again, because obviously finished Geordie Shore and then there was a long period where you weren't doing the filming and stuff like that. Had you thought consciously of, right, I do enjoy the fitness industry, I want that to be my long-term job. Obviously, I know being on telly and being on Geordie Shore isn't going to be something that lasts forever. Just the nature of something like that, is it going to be here in 10 years' time? The first time you went in, I remember having a conversation with you in the Naked Deli. I don't know if you remember this, but you were filming and you wanted to go to the gym, but you couldn't really get to the gym because you were kind of filming. You only got let out for a little bit. Was it something that you made a conscious decision the next time that you went in to kind of show that that's who you were about on telly? Because the first time it was all about partying and going out and stuff like that. Yeah. And maybe in hindsight, you didn't put that much effort into like showing people that you were about the gym, so that when they see you on social media, they associate you, with Geordie Shore, but also with being into fitness and stuff. So that's something you've made a conscious effort the kind of second time around?
The second time around, because obviously I was a lot older. But when I first went in, honestly, no word of a lie, like, I didn't actually think that the show was going to be anything. So I wasn't thinking about how I was going to be perceived or what people were going to think of us or how I could like use it to promote like a business or whatever. It was literally just, I'm going to go and have fun for 3 or 4 weeks. Yeah. So then when it started happening more and more, it was kind of like life got crazy that quick. It was like you were always just chased, like trying to keep up. because every day you were getting a message you were going to have to go somewhere new. So I didn't really have a plan for, I would say, the first 3 years. And then it started to, like, I'd done well to stay in shape considering how long we were filming and how much we drank in the early days. And then it got to a point where I was like starting to put on weight, my like mental health and stuff, because I wasn't getting exercise and eating as well, started to go a bit down. So then I was like, oh, I don't know if I can do this anymore. And then obviously there's the thought of how long is it going to last for? I want to have something that I'm passionate about that I fall back on as well. And then it just got to a point where it was like, I don't think I can do this anymore. And that's when I left, and I had like the vision to open the gym. And then we ended up opening that, and we met properly. And it was just like amazing for a bit, but then also I did kind of miss what I was doing as well, because it was like easy. Opening a gym was hard. And I was in there like all hours, 7 days a week, just non-stop really. And I was thinking, well, I was just like going on nights out and stuff, so it was kind of like, did I give it up? Was it the right reason?
I think the term you told me once was getting paid to piss. I think I remember that. That's
it was so easy. Like, so then obviously I thought, well, if I can get a balance of both, and then that's kind of when like the online started, and I was able to still travel and do things and film. Yeah. So that was like the perfect balance for us. And I wasn't like, I don't drink really now. So when we go away filming now, I maybe drink, say, 2 or 3 times over the space of 3 weeks. Whereas back then it was like every single night, but like mortal.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting because obviously with us saying there that you kind of made yourself, you made yourself through fitness, you know. You've then went away, you've kind of partied, you've done your 3-year stint, but that constant and what you've always brought it back to is fitness.
Yeah, it always has, because it's always been a massive part of my life. Like, apart from when we're filming, the longest time I've ever had off from the gym would be like 3 days or something. I've never been like smashed the gym, then had 6 months off or 3 months off, whereas a lot of people do that. I was always consistent. I always loved it, and it was just part of my regular day-to-day thing.
And could you train while you were kind of filming? Was it an option for you to go to the gym and stuff?
So the first couple of series, I can't fucking say that today. I was going to say seasons. I'm like turning American. The first couple of series, right? Like the way they filmed it was like, well, you lads, you just go to the gym, you just go on nights out, and you just want to pull birds. So like that's what they'd done. And then as the series went on, they started to change the dynamic in that, and we'd be like, can we go to the gym? And they'd be like, I haven't got time today. But then that would be like 3 days, 4 days, and like the crew, all amazing, but none of them were into the gym. So they didn't understand that. There was one day I actually like went on strike, and I ran out of the warehouse we're in, and I just legged it. Like the other cast laugh about it now. And I spat my dummy out because I couldn't go to the gym.
Were you doing like push-ups and stuff to try and...
They got a few bits of kit in the house, but like it was literally... Imagine when you're 15 and you start going to the gym, you go to Argos, and you get a York set, and you've got them gold plastic dumbbells, and like, so like it was like
you're trying to hold 2 at once to do chest.
And then obviously we started getting paid for stuff, and we're like, started buying kit and taking stuff in. So in the end, we actually ended up with a decent gym setup. Yeah. But you know yourself, you can only do so much in
absolutely,
in a limited space.
In the environment, you want a better environment than that as well.
Yeah, and the filming times, like people don't realise, they think, oh, it's easy that. But like we get woke up at like 8 o'clock in the morning, and some nights you don't go to bed until like 3. But then you needed that whole day. You might get like an hour's downtime or something, so that's when we'd fit the gym in. Or if they wanted to do a scene, we'd be like, oh, well, can we do the scene in the gym? So we'll film it, but then your session's half-arsed. So it was hard to balance them both. Like,
what gym were you training at when you trained?
A few different ones. One in Jesmond at first, and I remember they got annoyed because one of our job roles on the show. This is some inside goss. This is exclusive. This is an exclusive. And the had were filming in this gym, just doing daft things like mopping up and like daft little bits, just so they could get like the content and like us talking about stuff. And then they were like, oh, all excited, all the staff and that, because we're in all the time. And then when the series come on air, all the staff got together and they all went to watch it. But production hadn't told them that they'd cut everything out. So, like, there was no even mention of we're working in that gym. Like, that season, they just didn't have like working as anything. But they can do that. So, like, because we used to film so much, when it come to cutting, like, I think a day at the time. So an episode was 3 days of filming, whereas now we do an episode in 1 day. So it was like they had...
So was the gym expecting like promotion from it basically, and they just didn't rat them out, like
just see the gym and see them and that in it, and then when it come down to it, they'd cut it all out. So I think the next time they went, oh, you just can't film here anymore. But it wasn't anything to do with us, like the cast. It was just production or whoever was in the edit had cut it out.
Yeah.
So I felt a bit shan really, but
I think I know what gym it was.
Yeah.
That would go,
yeah, of course, yeah.
I think.
Was
when you said Jesmond Gym, there's not many really, is there? There's never really been many gyms in Jesmond. It has to be, but that's still there, though, isn't it?
Oh, it's still there.
No, it was sound nice. I enjoyed training there.
Yeah, it's a decent gym. I've trained there once before.
But they cut it all out, so they were gutted. Bless them.
Yeah.
But you just don't know what's going to be made into the edit, like into the final cut. There'd be days where we were really hungover, and they'd have a drive like 4 hours to a location, would film something for 4 hours, and then drive 4 hours back, and they'd be like, right, you got 10 minutes, get ready, and we'll go to Bijou. And we'd be like, wow, I'm knackered.
At that point, you just hire your drink down your neck.
But then you get on with it, and then when it comes out, they've just cut the whole day. So like that whole day was pointless. You could have just like caught up on sleeping, just like went out and felt better.
Do you feel like they wanted you guys like knackered though, so that you
no, they didn't. It's just they just wanted to make the show as good as possible, which they did. I think they'd rather have too much content to choose from than not enough.
Yeah.
So I think, but now because they've done so many, I think the last one was like series 25. So it's like,
but I feel like
they've
now
perfectly fine tuned it now.
Going to the reunions and stuff, and now and you guys have all got a bit of a profile and stuff.
It's so easy now. I love it.
But also like, they're not gonna treat you the same as the first couple of seasons, because the first couple of seasons you're more disposable. More like dispensable, sorry.
We said we were like the gerbils. So we were the gerbils inside the cage and they were the professors. Because they had like the secret room in the garden where they all used to watch the cameras and like talk to each other. So we were like, we're like an experiment here.
Yeah, well, it literally was.
That's what it was.
But now you guys are a bit more high, like way more high profile.
And some are high maintenance.
Well, yeah, you can just be like not doing that.
Burst out the cage, you know, like
that's what happens.
You're on the other side, yeah.
That is exactly what happens.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I want you to do this. They said something a couple of seasons ago. It was so funny, man. They were like, I want you to play a game, and it was something like what we used to do back in the day, and we would just all looked at each other and went, absolutely not.
No.
Yeah, it was something. Yeah, we're all in our 30s now. We're not like.
So obviously,
it was like, imagine playing like Snog Marry Avoid or something. It was something like that, but like all of it together. I was just like,
I've got wives and
that. Yeah, but like we're not doing that.
No, I've literally known these people for 10 years. They're like, this isn't like my sister. Stop it.
So it was like.